So, Secret Girly Sam and I, when we were in Anglesey, we set ourselves the challenge of making the style art Belle woven dress together. And as you can see, I'm wearing mine. We did it. So, if you want to find out how we got on, stick around.
Hello everybody.
Hello. We're here again.
It's us, and this is we've twinned with the
Oh,
burnt
yeah.
orange.
Colour coordinated today.
Unintentional twinning. So this is a collab vlog with a difference in that this bit's us together, and then the end of it you'll have a different bit with a different person's finished one.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that, yes.
So yeah. Stick with us, it'll make sense. So Christine and I decided to sew the same pattern while we were away together. Do you want to say what pattern it is?
Yeah, we're sewing the Belle dress, and no, it's not the Disney Belle, it's the Style Arc Belle dress. Now, I've had this in my stash for over a year and fell out with it. I don't know why, but Sam has convinced me to make it, so we've been doing it together in Anglesey.
And we want to thank Bex for kind of getting us noticing it, because she sewed it recently. Do hop over to her vlog and have a look, and she everyone at her social tried it on and almost everyone looked great in it, so we were like, okay,
maybe we need to do this.
And it will look different on us both, because although we're petite ladies, we've got different body shapes, so
we're using very different fabrics.
Yes. So we had a good look. We did some research. We went on Instagram, didn't we, and had a look at some other people's makes. There isn't many, you have to say. No. And we found a sew along, which we've already watched. That was our exciting evening viewing together.
A very good sew along, I've got to say.
So we will link the sew along below. I have to say, I don't often get pattern instructions printed, but I did, and I'll just show you. That's it. So that whole first page is the sizing and the finished pattern, and it's got some good hints up there, but then you've got some instructions for sleeve here. This is doing the front bodice and yoke, and then all that's left on the back is how to do the pockets and fit in the dress. Now that's we know that style-like instructions are scant.
Yeah, I've not even read them. I have literally done this dress from the sew along, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
And I've popped back and read the instructions that go with the sew along bits, and I can say now, I'm not sure I could have done it with just the instructions.
No.
So
probably
I'd be really interested if anyone has managed it from the instructions.
I think you could have done, but not in the time frame that we've done it, because we've only done one day, not even a full day. It was meant to be a full day yesterday, and what did it end up? About 4 or 5 hours.
So I've got the breakdown. We started at 12 o'clock, and it took us an hour to cut out all our pieces. So we both cut the paper pieces out.
Oh, say about the pattern, come on.
Christine brought her sleeve in, and I had my sleeve, and we'd had quite a bit of chat about grading out at the waist and things like that. We'll put the picture in of the difference between the two sleeves. It was like I'd cut a size 10 sizes smaller than yours. Yeah,
mine looked huge.
But yet we'd agreed on a similar size.
Yeah, but my pattern mine was printed off at home and paper pieced together,
and mine was PDF stitched and printed on AO. So I looked for the measurement square on the one I had done. I couldn't find it.
Mine was already cut out. So
so that was challenge 1. So we did quite a bit of holding patterns up to bodies, didn't we? The skirt version of Christine's piece gave us a clue that something didn't feel right, because it was sweeping the floor.
It was very big.
Yeah, and we know that as petite ladies, sometimes dresses are long, but if you look, it's meant to be sort of mid-calf, which to me means I know it comes to my ankle, because there's that 5-inch difference, because they're normally, a lot of companies draft for like a 5'6", 5'7" person, so I know I'm looking at a 4-inch-ish, so that's the difference between mid-calf and ankle. But this wasn't ankle, this was like sweeping onto the floor, And there's dog there.
Sorry about that dog, just sat on my sewing.
No,
no.
that.
Carry on,
So
Sam.
we went, your skirt feels massive, let's have a look at mine. So we held the skirt pieces up to my back to check there was room for gathering, and there was. So we decided to go with mine, didn't we? And we held a bodice piece up as well. We'll come back to that later. So cutting out all the pieces then took an hour. There's a lot of pattern pieces.
It was an intense cutting session, I've got to say. From two ladies who've cut a lot of patterns
and
out.
I like cutting.
And
I like cutting.
I hate it. But we did it in an hour. We got our heads down. We were sharing a pattern and we cut them out in an hour. So realistically, I would say a good couple of hours if you're a beginner.
And it was longer for me because of the fabric I chose and the orientation of the fabric and the pattern placing.
Very true.
So if I wasn't doing that, I probably could have done it about 45 minutes. But for most people, the speed I cut out is probably like an hour to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So there's 11 pieces. One of the real challenges about the pieces is knowing which way round they go. So for example, this looks like it could go that way round or that way round. And the challenge is the writing is actually vertical. So you have to start looking at things like that says place on the fold. So that gave us the clue of that one.
Yeah. I looked for the grain lines.
They weren't
always easy to find. They weren't always, no, they were there, but very well hidden. And the other thing, while Sam's getting some more pattern pieces out, is that Style Art give you your cutting size and the seam allowance as well. So to try and find your size was not very easy.
Now with PDFs you can print a layer, so if you know that you're going to be one size or two, you could just print those layers.
Yes.
But obviously I had mine AO printed and I didn't know at that point, so I needed them all. If you haven't printed in colour, you can at least try and follow the coloured line, but it is tricky.
Yeah, it's not the easiest to cut out if you've got them
this
all
one
printed.
was a really hard one because is it that way? Is it that way? And we had to do quite a bit of puzzling because this was, and then we realised, but then place on the fold that way round or that way round. So we realised, because that bit of writing then was upside down, but we realised that, and there was gathering at the top. And then we realised, okay, that's the gather at the yoke. But you've got to be really careful.
Yeah.
But because if you've got, like I had, which was a fabric where the orientation really mattered,
you need to
get that wrong, and that's going to look really silly when it's upside down. Luckily, your fabric, you probably could have got away with it.
I did nearly cut one piece. It might have been that piece actually.
Yes, I think it was.
The wrong way round. And realised just in the nick of time.
Because even the Style Art writing then is upside down if you have it the right way round.
Yeah.
So,
mental.
Yeah,
it was
really,
mental for
and you
out.
might even want to get arrows and draw which way up or something on
Good
them.
idea.
Because if you've got a directional fabric, that could push you over, I think.
And you've not even started sewing it yet.
And watch out, because on one of them it said cut one pair.
It's the wording, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's cut one main on fold. Yeah, one of them said cut one pair, but it was cut on the fold. So I'm like, is that one of these? And
it was
two
of them.
But it was two of them.
Yeah.
So if it just said cut two on the fold, it would have been fine.
More sense.
So yeah, just it's what people say about style. Like you're going to have to really be in super focus mode to get it right. We've gone for different length sleeves, haven't we?
Yes, I've decided that the sleeves are quite big and they've got a lot of gathers in them. I didn't like I'm calling it the double puff sleeve.
Yeah,
it would swamp me. And I didn't want longer sleeves because I want to take mine on my jollies. So I cut the line where the shearing is and use that. So I'm hoping they're going to come sort of just above elbow length.
And
we'll see.
And I've gone for the longer sleeve, but without the shearing in the middle, just the elastic at the bottom. But I've actually skipped a step in the instructions because everyone who watches knows me. Christine's been experiencing me as we go along, and I'm going, nope, not doing that like that. Because I don't know yet, because sleeves are often too long on me. I've got short arms. Yeah. Well, it's in proportion with my body. Otherwise I'd look like an orangutan. And so even though they want me to put the elastic in there, I need to wait till I put it on and then decide.
Yeah, they want you to put the elastic in the cuff before you've put the sleeve in.
Yeah.
I've not put mine in either because
no.
I don't know where, because I've gone rogue on the sleeve length, I don't know whether it's going to work and what length it's actually going to be. Yeah. So neither of us do that.
So even though I'm saying this with a nice fabric, so I wouldn't officially say it was a toile, I am having a bit of toile mentality on some of it. Yeah. And going, I need to find out at the end.
Me too, because I've got some really nice fabric for my jollies on the cruise, because I've not told you this, Sam. On one of the nights, I'm going on a Virgin cruise, and they do a scarlet night where you've got to wear, you don't have to, but everybody wears red.
Oh!
So I will pop up an image of the fabric that I've got for the Belle dress if I like the fit of it. I got it from Guthrie and Garnet, and it's actually a cotton lawn, but it's really, really smooth and drapey, so I'm really looking forward to it.
That would be nice with the sleeve.
Not plain red, it's patterned, it's got pink in it, so we're all right.
Nice.
Anyway, I digress. Carry on.
So we've done the hour of the pattern cutting. We then spent 30-ish minutes doing shearing, didn't we? Or shirring, depends on how you pronounce it.
Yes, my machine would not do it.
7 o'clock in the morning, was it?
At 6:30 in the morning, I was up bright and early, and I thought, right, I'm going to have a go at the shearing while it's quiet and then it's not eating into the day. My machine seriously needs a service, to be honest, but it really did not like it. So I decided at that point, I was just putting an elastic channel in the back. I wasn't doing it. But Sam came to the rescue.
Now, caveat, I've never done shearing before. And so I was glad I had Christine there, because Christine has done it before. And I think you've even made a vlog about it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So I knew I was in safe hands. So I was like, come on then, Christine, I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, we'll just stop. So it took a little bit of a while. So if you don't know, I've got a Janome Memory Craft 4800. It's about 17 years old now. It's a top loading bobbin. And so we didn't hand wind the elastic on.
No, my wonderful mum, who taught me to sew too many years ago, showed me the trick where you just wind a bit of the elastic onto your bobbin, put it on your bobbin winder. Don't put it round the tension disc, just hold it with a slight tension in the ball of your hand with it coming through, and don't do it really fast, slow it down and just machine wind it onto the bobbin.
So that definitely worked. We did it for mine, which I used black elastic, and then we did it for yours afterwards.
And you get an even tension on it. When you're hand winding it, it tells you, make sure your tension's always the same. That's impossible in my opinion.
So that definitely worked. Now my fabric's quite stiff and Christine's is a lot drapier. So when we did it the first time on my machine, we saw it working and then it stopped working, and we realised the auto tension has kicked in.
Yeah.
So we had to turn that off. So then we did like a 2 or a 3, didn't work. So we went up to like a 6 or 7, didn't work. Then we went up to 9, and then we made sure the stitch length was the full length. So we did lots of tweaking. It didn't quite work fully, and then I spotted on my bobbin it had skipped out
of the casing, hadn't it?
Yeah. So reconnected that, and then it worked. So I was on longest stitch length, highest tension number, and it then worked. And in between that, I tested it on a draper bit of fabric, and it worked. So we realised that because of the thickness of the stiffness of the fabric, it needed max on everything, didn't it?
Yeah.
So Christine took me to the steam iron, and I watched it go boom, like that.
Yeah, as if by magic.
Yeah. So then when we did it on yours, it worked even better, didn't it? Because you had much drapier fabric.
Yeah.
So that was probably 30-40 minutes to get that bit done. I'm glad we did it.
I am now. At the time I thought, we haven't got time for this. And you think, we haven't got time for this. Yeah. But we did it.
Yeah, and it's good now because I've covered another skill that I didn't have. So that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm doing quite well on my Make 9 that I haven't fully written, which was all skills, because I've done welt pocket and shearing and my march, so that's all right now. So then it was on to the sewing. We went from about 1:40 for 2.5 hours, was it? 2:43, 44 o'clock-ish.
Yeah, I stopped about 4 because I had to take the dog over.
And so did I, because we stopped at the same time. Yeah, so about 2.5 hours. And in that time, we got the bodice done.
Shall we show them how
Yeah.
this is? We're quite proud of these ladies. So I'll
It's
show
a
you
lot
mine.
of steps, isn't it?
Whoop. Oop, where's that shearing gone? Come here, we're proud of you. Shearing at the bottom, gathered in at the yoke, and then the yoke comes round to the front with some gathering. I scratch my head with that, Sam to the rescue. You don't do the burrito method, it's done very differently.
Yeah, you're doing like you're stitching the neck with the two yokes, then that top stitching, like the stay stitching on the neck where you had to like ruffle it.
God, that was a chat. Well, it was with yours, mine.
Yeah, yours was all drapey. So
because it's lighter fabric, but there's
fabric. My bodice. So
beautiful that.
If you haven't seen my previous vlogs, if you're a new viewer, this is a duvet cover that I bought in the Sow in Dunelm. It is Natural History Museum, and so one side of the duvet cover is this beautiful floral and the other side is the fern. So I decided to play with the two pieces because I thought they go well together.
It's beautiful, that, Sam.
I'm really happy. Yeah, seeing it in the cold light of day now. Because it was like yesterday instead.
Yeah.
But I have this piece here.
I was just going to say, you're going to tell them about your little design
So
feature.
when we were stopping, I said to Christine, I need to try this bodice on before we go any further. And I couldn't get it over my boobs.
I've managed with mine,
yeah.
but it's snug.
Yeah, almost could, but it felt like about an inch or so.
Just not quite
and
there.
at the waist it could, it's normally the opposite way around. Normally here fine, waist not, because I always grade out at the waist, but it was fine at the waist. But obviously you've got the shearing at the back to allow for that.
Yeah,
and
you've got some.
Yeah,
I was going to say wiggle room, but it's shearing room, isn't it?
Stretching room. But here it was not covering the boobage area, was it? Well,
no.
So I was like, I'm not giving up on this.
You were flashing a bit, weren't you?
I'm not giving up on this. We've come too far. We've concentrated too hard. I mean, this is a double yoke waist here, like a strange foldy over weird
so
technique.
you've not only got you've got a yoke at the top,
a
yoke at the waist.
And that
was a lot of
there was, we both did some unpicking on that waist yoke, didn't we? And now I'm looking at that, I'm going to have to look.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, no, there's got to be a solution to this. And I went back to the days of pre-breast reduction when I had to adapt clothes that I had. And I said to Christine, I often used to put a panel down the side and sometimes use belts on dresses and things.
Yeah.
So I was like, what about a panel? So cut it out, basted it in, and bingo.
Yeah. And I said, do it in the fabric, the contrast fabric that you've got on the waist, because then it's a design feature, not a disaster.
And it's worked.
It looks
I've
great.
Got the
I
coverage.
love it.
It looks great. And the arm was a bit tight on me, so it solved the tightness in the armhole as well. So, fixed.
Yeah.
And that's where we've stopped. But now I'm looking back in the cold light of day, I've got a bit of an issue there.
Oh yeah, I've not looked at mine closely enough yet. There'll be something on mine as well, Sam.
What I would say that's not in the sew along and not in the instructions is where when you turn through like these waist yokes, it's really bulky in the corner. So we've snipped
the corners.
Yeah. And we're pretty sure that if we did this again, we'd cut grade the
I was just going to say, the thing that isn't in the style arc instructions or the vlog that we watched is grading seams, which to me is just something that you do automatically.
Well, particularly when like here, you've got 3 bits of fabric there.
The seam needs grading.
And here in this burrito, in the yoke, you've got, again, 3 bits of seam in there. So and I actually clipped the neck because of the stiffness of my fabric, even though it didn't say to.
No, but I don't understand why.
Yeah, when the finished details on the inside, there's so few exposed seams on the inside.
Yeah, it is very well finished.
Yeah, really well finished. But
lots of little bits of top stitching detail on it.
But yet not snipping curves or grading seams. So interesting. So today we are doing the skirt and
we're finishing them, Sam. We're powering through and we're going to finish these dresses. Yeah. But we're going to do the reveal of them separately.
So You won't see that in this. We will come back when we've done the skirt pieces and talk that through.
Yes.
There's an interesting pocket way to do it from a pocket, different from anything we've ever done.
Yes.
So we're interested in how that's going to go. And we'll be attaching the skirt to the bodice. And again, it hides all the skirt seams inside this yoke piece as well. Which I was, I'm going to have to, because I've got a panel. So you know when you're like thinking of something as you go along there?
Yeah.
It'll be fine. So what we're going to do is go and do all of that. Then we'll come back and tell you about those bits and finish up, and then you'll have to wait for the reveal. At the. Are we going to do it at the end of these vlogs on our own reveal? We don't know.
We don't know yet. It depends on time, because
Yeah.
this afternoon we're going for afternoon tea.
Oh yes.
So we've got to get ready for that as well. So it depends on time, Sam. If we've got time, we might do the whole thing, but you won't see the whole thing.
Yeah. We've got to fit in the fun stuff too.
That doesn't make sense, does it? Do the whole whatever.
And just for reference, that's the sleeve, and you've got gathering at the sleeve head there, and that's where the elastic should already be in, but I'm not putting it in yet. So. Right, we better crack on then, haven't we?
Let's do this.
Right. We've not done, but we need to come back, don't we?
Yeah, we're getting there. But we're really frustrated with something, so we thought we'd pop on and show you.
So it's a different pocket technique that neither Christina or I have ever done, and we said we'd go with it, didn't we? Because you've got to try these things. If nothing else, we need to try them for you. So
just trying to find my one pocket.
Stitch the front pocket piece to the fabric like you normally would, and go back and you
straightforward, match the notches, no problems.
Then you stitch the other pocket bag over, so it's got the overlap, so it's not attached to the back fabric.
Yeah.
And then in the final sort of piece of work, when you're stitching the front of the dress to the back of the dress all the way down, you have to make sure you only catch the back pocket piece in the back fabric. Because if you catch both, you'd sew the hole closed. However...
Which is fine, in theory. But we've both done the same thing on one of our pockets. And we have got openings. We've not sewn them together. But, and if you can see there, the back doesn't line up with the front, and it's all bagged out, so I've now got to undo it from the bottom to there and straighten it out and redo it.
My clue was the bottom of my skirt on that side didn't line up, but on the other side lined up perfectly. And I was like, Christine, how can I be that much out? Both at the waist, all the waist lines matched up on both sides. So I said to Christine, and then that's when we hung, and look, same on my fabric. So it's not type of fabric, so the fabric hasn't stretched out. It's not that one of us has been inaccurate or the other one. This is something to do with this technique.
Not a very good technique, in my opinion, for putting a pocket in.
So I would definitely next time do my normal pocket technique.
Yeah, where you sew down the seam, sew round your pocket and sew them down.
Yeah. Where you've attached both your pockets already to their skirt piece.
Yeah, we followed the instructions, because there must be a reason why you're doing it this way, and there absolutely isn't. It's just...
And it means you haven't been able to stay stitch the underside of that pocket piece either.
I know, and that's not good.
No. So we're off to carry on, but we've both got our seam rippers out. And we're going to sort that out, because that's too bad to even for like this is like, it's a no. Yeah. We'll be back soon with the dress with the sleeves in.
So what do you think? We had a ball. It wasn't an easy make, as we've said in our recordings while we were down there. We did follow a sew along, and I will pop the link to that below. It was a very good sew along, I have to say. Just the right amount of detail without overloading you. And there were some different techniques than I've used. There were things that I've done before, like yokes, done those, shearing, done a bit of that, bodices, done some of that, but the way that they've constructed it and put it together was a little bit different, and I enjoyed everything apart from the pockets, which we couldn't figure out a reason for doing the pockets in the way that they did. So me and Sam both agreed we would revert back to our normal way of sewing in seam pockets in and ignore the style arc instructions and the sew along. There was no need for it, and it didn't quite work out for us, as you've seen. So the fabric I've used is a viscose from Rainbow Fabrics. I had it in my stash for a while, and you'll know that we had a little dilemma with the pattern. So I'm getting mine sent off for AO print, and I'm hoping that I'm going to make another one and I will get a better fit, because this fits, but it's a little bit snug around the boob area. I'm all right with it, but I'd like it to be a bit looser, if I'm honest. So if you want to see the full effect of my Belle dress, I'll just give you a little twirl. Did you think? It is a bit booby, isn't it? It needs to be a bit looser on me. So a size up will work, I think. But how I'm going to work that out, I don't know, because we used Stan's pattern that was stitched together. I'm going to get it AO printed at CLC print, because you can't beat them on price and their efficiency. Yeah, I'm just going to have to, hopefully, size up a size, do the size that I was going to do, and see if it comes out bigger. Anyway, I digress. The fabric that I really want to make the Belle dress in is this. How beautiful is that going to look in summer as a Belle? So this is the fabric. I will be making it again. Obs. I hope you've enjoyed our little sewing retreat challenge, and bob over to Sam's channel and have a look at her version of the Belle, because it is very different to mine, and it's nice to see it made in a different fabric on a different body shape. Another vlogger's perspective of what they thought of our process. So I will see you all again on Monday for my makes and plans, and tomorrow for my little Sew Yellow to Endo vlog. So take care.